Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with Simple Stories Saturday for April 2024. And for this Simple Story Saturday, I am going to use the Simple Life. I have the 6x8 paper pad. I have the kit that comes with the 12x12s as well as a 12x12 sticker sheet, the puffies, the extra bits and pieces, the flatback brads, the enamel dots, all the fun things. And I'm going to document this picture of me and my best friend at dinner on our way to our yearly trip to the beach with my family. So I've got my papers, my embellishments, my picture. So let's see how this goes. So I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just getting started and just winging it. I do want to use scraps, which I meant to share. I've got a lot of branding strips. I normally don't keep them anymore unless they're the full 12x12 branding strip. For some reason, these were still in my kit, so now they're not because they're on this layout. I start with this strip of paper that says happy, amazed, kind, loved, and it has little bees all over it, which is perfect because my best friend's name is Bree, and I call her Bee, as well as my son and most of my family. And so I use bees to decorate with layouts of her pretty often, and this has no pink in it, which makes it even better because she hates pink. So these are all the branding strips and a couple of just strips from where I've like trimmed this wood grain down to an 11 3/4 by 11 3/4, and I am going to maybe 11 1/2, actually. I think 11 1/2 by 11 1/2. I'm going to use up pretty much everything you see right there except I think one little bitty piece, and I tear the ends because these aren't 12 inches long. Because Simple Stories doesn't do that. They have like their branding strip part and then whatever's on the back of the paper. And so I just tear the ends of them off and then just stagger them. Not in any real routine. I just don't want them to end up being in the same length as the one next to it. So I just do that kind of across the page, not all the way, because I definitely want that wood grain to show. I love that paper. It's really pretty. Wood grain's one of my favorite things to work with. So I just keep going until I get to a place where I've used all of my little strips up, or most of them. And then I'm going to build another one going the other direction up here in what's going to be the top right corner when I get the page laid out. And I just used up pretty much the rest of the little bits and pieces. And then I mat my picture on another scrap. I'm really excited about all the scraps I'm using. I honestly should have held out on doing this until I did Ginger's 5,000 subscriber hop, because that's using scraps, and that's exactly what I did here, but that's okay. I'm pretty good at using up some scraps. So later on in a couple of days, you'll see that. And then after I got done doing all the little scraps and bits and pieces, I just start building my layout. So I've double matted my picture. One of them is a scrap, and then the other one was with the 6x8 paper pad. It's like this deep green with keys on it. And we're at Outback Steakhouse. We go every year, as long as I can remember. I would say as far back as maybe 2011, 2012. We've gone every year on our way to the beach. And so that's why I'm using this door and it's got a welcome home mat on it. Even though we're at a restaurant, it's, because it's tradition and it's something we do, I felt like that was fitting. And then I tucked some of the white and black florals in, and I'm kind of wanting to create this whole big cluster up here with the door and that floral that's right above my best friend's head. And so I decided to add this little puffy from the Flatback Brad collection to combine that whole cluster. So I still really have 3 clusters, even though they're kind of spread out. That one is kind of spread out. So I get that down. I'm building a little cluster on the little strips I've got in the top right corner. And then I have that one in the bottom right corner of the picture as well. And then I was thinking about putting some wordy bits over here to the right of the picture, but I just didn't like the way they look. So I put most of those little wordy strips that you see over on the right away. I make sure to put a heart, a bee, and a flower in all 3 of my clusters, which is one of the things I love to do, is to kind of keep things not necessarily symmetrical, but bringing in each of the colors to the different places. And of course, there's a bee in every one of those little clusters as well. And so I just get those around. And one of the ones that I love the most is this little one right underneath the picture. It's a clock, and it's actually set at 10 o'clock, which is really funny because that's pretty much what time we got to the dinner. They closed at like 11, and we rolled in there right before. Sometimes when we hit traffic, because we're coming from Kentucky and we go to North Carolina, sometimes traffic keeps us from getting there at a decent hour, so we're eating at 11 o'clock. So I end up with some enamel dots to finish out my clusters in all three places. And I just wrote a little journal note at the bottom with the date saying our yearly visit to Outback. We always have such a good time, and I love that tradition. So, and that is it. It is super simple. If you saw my Pink Fresh Friday, seriously looking at super simple this month. Hopefully May is going to be a little bit more detailed and fun and get some mixed media back out. But I love these clusters. I loved getting these scraps used up, getting some more embellishments used. Totally forgot to put it back on the black mat that I have cut out. So it will be matted in black, and I forgot this 12 by 12 sticker sheet. But that's okay. I'll just have it for something else. So anyway, that happens to me often. So anyway, that's it. I hope you will go check out everybody else who's doing Simple Stories Saturday. The list will be below. I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up if you like this video and or this layout. And I hope you'll come back and see me again really soon. Hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. And happy scrapping.